Welcome to this episode of the Successful Encore Career podcast. I'm Brett Johnson, longtime supporter of Employment for Seniors and producer of this podcast. The Successful Encore Career podcast program is presented by Employment for Seniors with the support from Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging, Nationwide Insurance, InnoSource, and Circle 270 Media Podcast Consultants. Employment for Seniors is going to be hosting a hiring event on Wednesday, April 3rd with Hikma Pharmaceuticals. With me today is Barb Stoltz, Employment for Seniors Employer Outreach Associate. And on the phone, we have both Rebecca Bowman and Pamela Diggs. Welcome to the podcast, Rebecca and Pamela.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you.
How about Rebecca and Pamela? Why don't you introduce yourselves briefly and kind of give a sense for what your role there is with Hikma?
Sure. Thank you, Barb. I'm Rebecca Bowman, the Global Head of Talent Acquisition, and I am located in the Columbus, Ohio facility for Hikma Pharmaceuticals.
And I am Pamela Diggs. I am the Senior Recruiter here at Hikma Pharmaceuticals, and I am located in Columbus as well, on the west side of Columbus.
Why don't we start off then with, give us a sense for what Hikma Pharmaceuticals is about and how long they've been in the Central Ohio area.
Thank you, Barb. So Hikma, simply stated, is about putting better health within reach for millions of people every day. Hikma was actually founded in 1978 in Amman, Jordan. So last year, as you can imagine, was a pretty exciting year for us. We hit the milestone of 40 years. Our company actually started in the Middle East, and it rapidly grew into the European and U.S. regions. Currently, we're in more than 50 countries, and we are publicly traded on the London Stock Exchange. So what do? We develop, we manufacture, and we market a wide range of generic and branded medicines. So in over 40 years, we've actually built a very strong business with over 8,500 employees and 29 different manufacturing facilities, and we also have 7 research and development centers. So for the last 4 decades, we've actually grown into a $2 billion global pharmaceutical company with more than $1.2 billion in U.S. sales, which is very exciting. In the U.S. in particular, we actually have 4 primary site locations. Our headquarters in the U.S. is Eatontown, New Jersey. We're also located in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. In Ohio, we have a Columbus facility, and we also have a facility up north, kind of close to the Cleveland area. It's our Bedford facility, and that's where we have some R&D. Okay. So what kind of pharmaceuticals do we make? We're actually one of the top generic medication providers of both oral, solid, and injectable pharmaceuticals. And these pharmaceuticals span across various therapeutic categories, including respiratory, oncology, and pain management.
I know on the careers page for your website, you've got quite a variety of positions listed, everything from very, scientific-driven roles to more production-oriented. So share with us what kinds of job opportunities you are especially seeking to fill when you have your event with us.
Well, you are correct. On our website, there are tons of different types of positions that are available. We are hiring primarily right now because of growth. We have about 1,200 employees at our Columbus site, and we have a host of positions anywhere from scientists in analytical development, quality control. We have positions in IT and in engineering. I am looking primarily for, right now, production workers. And production workers would either be manufacturing workers or people who work on the packaging side. The people who are production workers, when you're on the manufacturing side, you're actually working or making medication like you make a cake. You're putting in the ingredients and making sure that they're capsulized and so that you can produce those, package those, and ship those out. We have a great need right now for those things. Of course, we have different medications that are coming up. We're always producing new medications. And so we have been growing rapidly and looking for people in our production area. We are also looking a lot for, right now, technician 2. Those technicians are in our lab. And we're producing a lot of medication. And so with that, we are in need of some people to assist with the equipment that we use in our lab. So I would say as a global piece, you could say, well, as a wide range for the Columbus site, I would say that we have positions in all kinds of different areas. My focus, though, because, we have to be able to make the medication. So my focus right now is primarily we're looking for production employees and lab technicians, too, who would assist the scientists with working in the lab.
Tell me why you feel these roles are especially appropriate for the mature worker.
So for us, as an equal opportunity employer, to be quite honest, we are really looking for the best person for the position, best and most qualified individual. So we are looking at all spectrums. We consider individuals from all various races, genders, and age groups. So again, at the end of the day, it has to be the best fit for the position.
The positions that you're talking about sound somewhat technical in background. When our applicants show up for the hiring event, what would be the best preparation for them to be prepared for this hiring event coming up in April?
Well, what we understand at Hikma is that people have transferable skills. And so, very few people may have experience in the pharma industry. So we look for what other industry experiences that you could have that would transfer over. For us, that would mean people who are in the food industry because they have all types of stipulations and regulations they have to adhere to. Also, people who are in the banking industry, anybody that's in quality control, anyone that has been in an assembly type environment for GMP. GMP environment requires people to follow standard operating procedures. And so we would be looking for people in those arenas as well. So it's not just like you're looking at it and say, wow, this sounds technical. We need technical people. People use technical skills in a variety of different roles. And we believe that they can transfer those roles, that they are people of integrity, hard workers, qualified, those kinds of things. And they have background in some of those areas. They can easily transfer those skills over to making medication or working in the labs here at Hikma.
Well, I think your answer makes those positions less intimidating. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and as an aside,
right.
I want to include that information in the job posting because I think that will make a difference. Like they don't have to be intimidated or awed that, wow, that sounds like way more than I can do. So those are great. Those are great. So, okay. So are these full-time or part-time openings?
They're full-time positions. Most of our positions, I would say 99% of them are full-time positions. And they come with a host of different things but we very seldom we don't have part-time positions here in warehouse or production or any of those areas. All the positions that we're looking for right now would currently be full-time roles. And of course, Rebecca, I would say they come with benefits. Can
you expand on what some of those benefits are?
Yeah, absolutely. So like a lot of companies, we offer your standard medical, dental, and vision. But one interesting fact to share about our company is we do actually offer a free medical plan for our U.S.-based employees. So that's very exciting, and a lot of our employees actually do take advantage of that. We also offer a generous vacation policy. And for most of our full-time positions, there is bonus eligibility.
Any training involved with these positions?
Yes, training is definitely involved. When you start with us, when you come in, if you're going to be a production worker, then you're going to start off with 3 weeks of training to go over a variety of different information. We go through different safety procedures. You sort of start off with some of those kinds of things. But then you go and you are trained on the floor with other people who would do your job on first shift. Most of our positions that are open right now are second and third shift, but all training takes place on first shift. So we sort of operate from the teach one, do one. We want to make sure that we train people well enough so that they can teach someone else. And so they have to actually teach it back to the person who taught it to them so that we can make sure that they actually really know how to operate that piece of equipment or whatever their particular job entails. They really become an expert in that particular area. And so that's what we require for production. But it doesn't just end with once you come in. Our training, we have a learning training center where we go through moving people from, if you're a manufacturing one technician, once you satisfy certain requirements, you move to a manufacturing two. And once you manage so many requirements, then you would move to manufacturing three technician. So you're eligible for growth moving up. Also, as a technician two that would be coming in for the lab, we also have training that is lab-based training. So we do the safety training and all the kinds of training that you would need for a particular site. That is general, but we would also extend that to make sure that you're using the lab equipment the way we would expect the lab equipment to be used here. And so we have a tremendous training program. Everybody is really happy with it. You know, you have to think about we are out there making medication, and we want to make sure that people are comfortable with their job done.
Well, you already kind of answered my next question in part about, what opportunities are there for somebody to grow and expand their role. But going back a little bit more big picture in terms of, why would somebody want to come work for Hikma? Share with us what drew each of you to the company and what's held you there.
So as far as why people would want to come to this company, so, quite frankly, our company is known for its quality focus, integrity, excellence, respect, and transparency. We want to have a positive impact on all those who our work touches, not just the people who use our medicine, not just the customers, not just the suppliers, but our fellow employees. And this is certainly a philosophy that we reflect in everything we do every day. For me personally, this company has a very entrepreneurial feel. So they have the family origins in the beginning. They were started by a Middle Eastern family in 1978. So at our core, our foundation, we do have those strong family values. We are a smaller company looking to grow, and we are growing rapidly. But compared to some of those larger companies where you feel sometimes one of many, at this company you absolutely feel, again, because it's a smaller company that's currently going through the growth stages, you feel as though on a day-to-day basis that you really are having a bigger impact within your role and how you affect those around you and the output of your work on a daily basis. So that, to me, is really why I enjoy working here. I wear multiple hats every single day. No 2 days are the same, and it certainly keeps me on my toes, and that's what excites me about working here with Hikma.
I think, too, I would say that, each place that you work has a different environment or a different culture. And I work here because of the people who are here. You get up every day, and sometimes in different places it may be difficult for you to go to work. I never feel like it's difficult for me to come to work. It's a laid-back environment where most of the people wear jeans, carry backpacks, regardless of whether you're a scientist or whether you're in production. And people speak, and it's an upbeat, enthusiastic type environment. And I think that's what really attracts me to doing my position every day is the culture that's here. And a lot of people come here and they stay here their entire career. I appreciate the fact that as a seasoned professional, I appreciate the fact that they're making generic medication because I understand the need for that in our community. And I also appreciate the fact that I get to have input by the people that we bring in, the people we hire to come into our environment that are upbeat and enthusiastic. They are self-driven. Some of those characteristics I'm helping to cultivate the culture that's in place now and helping to build for tomorrow. So I really feel like I have a direct impact on the environment here. So it's sort of like having your home or you're having some type of event and you want to invite the best people, the people who are going to enjoy it the most, have the most fun, be the most diligent. I think those are some of the things that we look for to bring in here at Hikma so that we keep the same type of culture.
Rebecca and Pam, thank you so much. I think what you have shared could really get people excited about coming to our event and about joining the company. So let's wrap up with reminding our listeners that your employer hiring event is at the Employment for Seniors offices on Wednesday, April 3rd between 9:30 and 11:30. We would ask that you register ahead of time if you can. Call us at 614-863-1219 or just arrive that morning anytime, and we will see you on the 3rd.